Today marks 21 years since the deadly September 11th attacks. Roughly 3,000 people were killed, triggering the lengthy Afghanistan war. On Friday, a remembrance ceremony was held at the Pentagon. Washington correspondent Jesse Turnwalk was there.
20 years ago began as a typical morning for Pentagon employees.
But at 9:37 a.m. on September 11th, 2001,
in seconds, scores of lives were lost.
General Mark Milley, the chairman of the Joint Chiefs, remembered the 184 Americans killed in the Pentagon attack in the building and on Flight 77.
Dr. Yenene Betrue.
The innocent ranged in age from 3 to 71 years old.
Petty Officer, Second Class, Chris Romero Bishundat.
Just as we once worked alongside so many of them, we now mourn alongside all of you.
Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin said the Pentagon has worked these past 20 years to honor their sacrifices by defending the country against terrorism.
It will always be our duty to fulfill their missions and to live up to their goodness and to stand guard over this democracy.
This is the first 9/11 anniversary without U.S. troops in Afghanistan. And as debate about the withdrawal continues, Pentagon officials remembered those who gave their lives during the war and those now back home who are questioning their impact.
You did your duty. Your service mattered. Your sacrifice was not in vain.
The day's final commemoration at the Pentagon happened before sunset. The commander-in-chief, President Biden, laid a wreath after stops at the other two attack sites in New York City and Shanksville, Pennsylvania.
This morning, First Lady Jill Biden is in Shanksville, Pennsylvania to honor the passengers on board United Airlines Flight 93. Journalist Peyton Kennedy shows us how the community is paying their respects.
Etched in chalk are the 40 heroes of Flight 93.
I saw all the concrete on the ground and I said, I have to do something here to commemorate the 20th anniversary of what these heroes did aboard Flight 93.
People pass by as artists recreate the faces of the brave men and women who sacrificed their lives to save countless others.
We were all very moved, obviously, so we started doing research on each of the individuals and learn more about them. So when you're doing a portrait, obviously, you want to not only capture the likeness, but you also want to share what was, special about that person.
On the 20th Remembrance Ceremony in Shanksville, Pennsylvania, a bell will ring for each passenger and crew member who knew America was under attack and came together to stop terrorists from reaching their intended target.
I will always believe that I and many others in our nation's capital were able to go home that day to hug our families because of the courage and selflessness of the heroes of Flight 93.
Almost 500 family members are attending this year's ceremony, a reminder to them their loved ones' memories will always live on.
It's incredible to see that type of response just from the families. It's incredible to be part of that and be in their presence and help them tell this story for them of their loved ones.
Freedom itself was attacked this morning.
President George W. Bush, who was president at the time of the attacks, will be one of the speakers, along with Vice President Kamala Harris and the Secretary of the Interior. As we remember the tragic events that took place in this field 20 years ago, we show our promise to the nation we'll never forget.
It means a lot to us to come back and pay our respects. And, the biggest thing is to show the families that we still remember. That through sacrifices of the people that are here, we're lost.
Today, President Joe Biden is speaking at the Pentagon, while Vice President Kamala Harris is in New York at the National September 11th Memorial.